All right, noises coming through.
Taking us live.
Against our mic, so
you're aware, we are now live.
We are live.
Hey, everybody.
That is pushing it in my part.
We're live to YouTube. I don't know if we're actually,
You know there's
live.
A pod crawl going on right
now.
That is pushing it in my part. Basically, various podcasts running at the same time and sharing their feeds and getting drunk and whatnot.
Oh my!
I'm gonna share this to my Facebook page today, and I'm doing that whole running for school board. So let's try and keep it family friendly today.
How's it going, Joe?
The campaign? It's starting off slow.
That's what you said last week.
Yep.
We've had another week.
What do you want me to say? The banks were being disagreeable. The Anadot was being disagreeable. We're just now getting our donation platforms set up. We have a meet and greet tomorrow, and we have another meeting this evening. My slate does. And then a meet and greet tomorrow, and then something going on Wednesday, and various other things. Just so much to try and get done. Still got to get signs done. We got to get cards done. We got to go door to door, get volunteers to go door to door. I'm going to try and get Moss to give me some donations for my campaign platform.
Some what?
Donations.
We have money?
Money. Cash.
We have money?
Plus.
You have to talk to my wife about that. I'm all donated out.
Okay.
I have $50 I can spend every month, and I split it up among 9 organizations. So.
Plus, I know I messaged you on it, but I didn't tell anybody else that I got that second tape recorder spinning. I still don't have a tape to test. I still haven't worked on the headphones because my time right now is non-existent.
The price is right.
Yeah. But it was actually a really simple mistake on that second recorder. Someone had taken it apart and put it back together, but when they put it back together, there's a little spacer that goes over what I can only assume is some type of grounding rod that is supposed to reduce noise. That this is just an assumption on my part. It's just a metal rod that sticks out in the middle of nowhere. And because they didn't put the spacer in, when the screw was in, it would ground directly to power. So place the spacer in and put the batteries back in, and it started working. And I still want to try and 3D print a new battery bracket for it, since you only have the one battery bracket, and see if I can make that work. I did find they were right here. God damn it. Oh, language.
Yeah, Joe. Keep it clean.
Yeah.
This is your podcast here, yeah.
Yeah. I got the I do have the battery connectors. The DIY battery connectors.
Yeah.
And I'm going to try and use those.
I did send you the backup set of uppers, so you can carve on them if you like.
They should be
there. They should be showing up.
Okay.
When did I mail them?
I should have some packages coming in today too from eBay.
I have a line drawn with Sharpie where I think the cut should be, but
you want me to make the cut and smooth it?
Yeah, and if I need to smooth it more or carve it more, that's fine, but I do not have the tools to make the initial cut and don't have the skill to smooth it much myself.
That's not difficult. I mean, it'll start off with my Dremel doing the cutting, and then I'll switch to one of the stone smoothing ends, sanding ends.
Yeah.
I might switch to sandpaper and then the stone. And then I'll just smooth off the burrs, get it as leveled off as possible so it doesn't hurt
Yeah.
when you put it in. And I got that, the power supply. I'll definitely send you one of the recorders. I might hold on to the other one while I'm fabricating the battery pack. And then I'm still looking for my 3.5 millimeter jacks. I might just buy some more. Eventually I'll buy enough that I won't lose them.
Right.
And then
Well,
replace the 3.5 millimeter jack on the one, and I think I'm going to do a full cable replacement on that other headset you sent me.
okay. So no one else coming?
No one else has said anything. I mean,
I thought Nishant said he was going to be here.
Bill was saying he was going to do the stream today, and then when I asked, nothing.
No bill.
Maybe he has something coming.
we just won't post no bills. No Irish need apply and all that.
Ouch. Why you got to hurt
I'm
me like
offended.
that, Moss?
Well, I'm quarter Scots, so that's almost the same thing.
You cut me deep.
Mm.
No, I'm actually from one of those families that's very heavily both Irish and Scottish. My lineage, you can actually find it in both places.
Yeah. Yeah. Scottish is okay. Scots is okay. Do not say Scotch. Scotch is what they drink.
I like Scotch.
But you would not marry one.
No, but I'd let it inside me.
Yeah, going for oral or a family show.
I was talking about drinking Scotch. Maybe some
Yeah.
bourbon.
Anyhow, sure you were, Joe. Sure you were.
So, anybody want to discuss music now?
Music. I could get my guitar out and bore you.
Nah. Maybe.
Down on the farm.
I got weird music stuck in my head today.
Just for anybody that might be paying attention.
I'm seeing it. Yeah, I played on Thursday, and there's another thing I could play at tonight if I can get the link. It's really not the same playing on Zoom as playing to a room full of people.
I also did most of my weightlifting earlier. I might do another set or two during this.
Just to show off.
Well, I'm not going to move the camera, so I mean, there's videos of me putting up 295 on Facebook now and Instagram, but the people I'm campaigning with asked me to post it, so
Yeah.
and then they called it bragging.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with that.
It's raining here. How's the weather where you guys are?
Cold. I don't think it's
Cold.
raining today, but it has been extremely cold for days.
It has not been cold because it's been raining. In these parts, any low-lying cloud formations hold heat close to the earth, and so it doesn't get as cold.
Actually, it's sitting at 53 degrees right now here, so it's not too bad.
Hey, Londoner, how's it going? Good to see you on the stream.
Hey, Londoner. Let's see. It's currently 43,
Oh,
but the low will be about 40.
Hold on. Computer, what's the temperature?
Right now, it's 38 degrees
38.
tonight.
It's pretty cold too.
Low of 32.
Tomorrow it gets up to 47, but down to 29. Tonight it's only getting down to 34. Monday it gets up to 56 and then back down to 29. That's what happens on clear days. Everything heats up in the daytime and then cools off too much.
Yep.
So
When I
you
was
said
coming up here yesterday.
you were out on a farm today?
Yeah, I'm at my cousin's ranch out in the eastern foothills of
Yeah, I didn't see that
California.
cross in the background this time.
G-rated. Yeah, no.
A cross is
No,
X-rated? I did not know that.
it's controversial, Moss. You know
Oh, well, it depends if someone's hanging on it or something.
that. Right. No, that's my mother's decorating. No, we're up in the mountains. Yeah, there was snow I saw on a lot of the peaks out here yesterday, but luckily none at this elevation. I guess I got some on Monday.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, if there's any weird bovine / goat, sheep, chicken noises, turkeys, guinea hens,
We won't ask.
yeah, don't ask. I'm just happy this is working. I didn't know if this little laptop would be able to do it.
Well, now you know.
Yeah.
What laptop is it?
It's my old ThinkPad X220, the only one I have. So it's running MX Linux, and I brought my backup mic, my condenser, and I stole my daughter's very cheap, like, eBay webcam.
You need to
No.
upgrade
So
that
just-
laptop, son.
Yeah, the X220, is that the 11-inch?
Kind of made a quick, probably. It's fairly small. I think it's classified as a
Netbook?
Oh.
Because I have the 120E sitting in a box somewhere, and
Yeah, I
that's
used-
netbook
person
size.
netbook.
I used to have a pair
Yeah,
of
netbook.
X130Es.
Yeah, it's pretty small. And my internet connection right now is kind of shaky, so
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we upgraded both of those X130Es to T430s and have been growing ever since.
Well, that's a big
I s-
upgrade. The 130 was what, the Centrino? The Core 2 Duo?
I don't even remember. We still have one T430 for sale. It's on eBay, and people are looking and not nibbling. I refuse to do
Facebook Marketplace?
that's not where I was going. I refuse to do the bidding type
Ah.
side of eBay. I see some people making out like bandits with that, but every time I post something, it winds up going for minimum bid, and that's less than I needed from the product, so I just do buy it now. I set the price maybe a little proud, but I also take care of my machines pretty well too.
yeah, I bought this one off eBay, refurbed. It's got an i7. I think it's a second gen, so it's pretty old. But it's got 8 gigs of RAM, and it came with Linux Mint pre-installed, which is how I searched it up. And yeah, it's I think I picked it up for like $100, so can't complain.
Yeah, I think I'm selling the T430 for 190 or 180, and they kept trying to tell me I should sell it for 120, and I looked at what they were comparing it to that was going for 120, and it had 4 gigs of RAM instead of 8. It did not have the extra battery. It did not have an SSD, and I'm going, screw you. I'm selling it for 180, 190.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that is one upgrade I had to do to this thing. It had spinning rust in it, and that 5400 RPM drive just wasn't cutting the mustard. So I threw a Samsung Evo drive in it.
Yeah, I do not have a good SSD in this machine, but I have an SSD, and they'll just have to learn about that. I've got a Lexar 100 in there, and it's 256 gigs, and it's not going to wear out this week. So if someone wants a better one, they can put a better one in.
There you
Yeah.
go.
I'm hoping to get to work on that Dell XPS 13, the 9350. today. I'm going to do a
Mhm.
motherboard swap on it. And I ordered a set of 7 headphones to work on because, yeah, I needed some headphone therapy.
Joe, you're just
It
gonna run out
calms
of
me
things to
down.
do.
It calms me down.
Um,
There's this other set of but yeah, well, the reason I ordered it was because it was $30, or it came after shipping. It came out to like $38. But it's got what, one, two, three, four. It's got 4 of the Razer Nari Ultimates in the set. Now it doesn't have the USB dongles for those, but I have the USB dongle for my for this set, so I can at least test them and I can swap them around. And I'm pretty sure I can get most of them working again. One of them has like hinges that are really broken, so I want to 3D design and print new hinges for it, and hopefully post that up on Thingiverse, which should be cool. Because I've seen a lot of
yeah.
these with broken hinges, and I don't see any designs out there to fix them. Plus, in that set, there was also one of the green Razer Krakens, and I have another green Razer Kraken sitting on top of my desk over there that has a bad cable and no microphone. So between the two, I should be able to get one of them working. And I'm sorry, the green Razer Krakens are just, they look awesome.
Is that a lot you picked up?
Yeah, a lot of 7 salvage as is headsets with 4 Razer Naris in it. And the Razer Naris usually go for a lot more even without the USB dongle, because you can still hook them up wired.
Yeah,
Okay,
Razer doesn't make cheap stuff.
I'm asking 170, but asking them to pay 1945 for shipping, so it's 190.
The only look, because I had one of our listeners that has bought a lot of headphones from me in the past ask me if I had any crushers, and so no, I've sold all my crushers at this point, and I went out and looked on eBay, and even like used, broken, salvage, almost unusable crushers, skull candy crushers, are just too expensive for me to buy and work
Wow.
on.
Yeah.
Gotta pay for that name.
Well, I was able to get sets in the past at good prices. I don't know what happened since then.
COVID.
Yeah. Everything.
Everybody heard me talk about how much fun they are to work on and just bought them up.
There you go.
I believe it. Now,
Oh, yeah.
now that I've mentioned the Razer Nari Ultimates, I'll never be able to get another set again.
You doomed yourself, Joe.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah. I love these things, especially for podcasting. No, I still,
They look plenty comfy.
yeah. If I'm on my other computer, I still use the 99 Neos, and I did get those at a good price, but they sure as heck weren't broken when I got them. I paid $20 for a $200 pair of headphones. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, that isn't bad.
Yeah. But those really, if you're going to listen to music on them, you really need to get an amp for them.
You don't have a DAC?
Um, I have a desktop amp. I do not have a proper DAC.
I just use a little FIO, I think E10 or something like that at my desktop.
I have, well, actually, I do have a FIO. Let me see. I had it over here. Ah, here we go. But it
I
is
do not know
definitely,
what this FIO is.
it is definitely not a massive power horse. But this is also a little inline amp
That
with a
looks
battery.
like one of the ones. Yeah, that looks like more something you could stick in your pocket
Oh yeah,
and use with a phone.
yeah. That's what it's for, and it is good for that. It's just, like I said, not a powerhouse.
Right.
And I got this for free from a friend that was upgrading.
No. Well, hey, can't beat that.
Yeah. Can't argue with that price.
Well, I got that
No,
guitar
sir.
back out of the shop, and it still has a problem on it, and I'm not sure how much it was worth it to take it to the shop. But
Well, what's the problem now?
um, the G string is hitting the first fret.
You're
I
getting a
think all
rattle.
they did was put some paper in the old bridge. Well, it's a factory bridge. You don't want to change that. Well, it's been worn down. It needs to be changed. So I need to take it someplace else and just get the nut changed.
You have a proper Luther somewhere?
I thought I took it to a proper luthier. He'd been uh, certified by Martin for 40 years or so. Um,
Oh, yeah.
but I
It's
normally take it
qualified.
to this other guy who is also as qualified and as old and as retired, but also builds his own guitars. So I normally take it to him, and I don't like dealing with trumpers these days. So I didn't. And I probably took it to just another one. He just wasn't as out front about it. But I need to take it somewhere else. I need to get that nut replaced. Oh no, it's factory. You don't want it replaced. They just sort of stuck paper down uh, into the notches of the nut. And maybe I just need to stick more paper in and it'll work. But why is it only the G string that is catching on the first fret?
Yeah, if that nut's really worn on that string, that's probably it.
It's a nice guitar. It's an Alvarez and all. This baby back here, but oh man, my headphone wire is a little shorter. I do have a longer wire, but not plugged in right now. There's this baby right here. It's only a semi-acoustic, but it's on hold and
Semi-acoustic,
everything. But
so
it just
it's an
right
acoustic
here, it's just
electric.
the G string is hitting that.
Yeah. Getting a
The
little
other
fret
strings are
buzz.
fine. I don't know why. I figure I might just want to take a file to where the G string goes across that fret. But I don't want to
And
do
just
too
put a
much because
caper on
I
there,
can really
Moss.
mess things up if I don't know what I'm doing.
Just put a caper on it. It's fine.
It doesn't
I
stop
don't hear
me.
you. Did my headphones come out?
Maybe. We're
That's
talking here.
Oh, yeah. Well, I didn't hear it. Like I say, this is short headphone wire.
Not knowing never stops me.
That's true, but you have some successes behind you, and I have a long string of failures.
Hey, do you know how you get to successes?
I know, I know. They say experience is directly proportional to equipment ruined, and I just can't afford to ruin equipment. But yeah, I still have my trusty Ibanez. This was the best deal I ever got in a new guitar. $299 for this baby, and he's beautiful. Best $300 I ever spent on a guitar.
Sounds good.
I know it's made in China, but they did a good job on this.
Are they China? I thought they used to be Korea. At least
They
my Ibanez base was.
Well, they went from Japan to Korea to China.
Okay.
Does this actually say made in China on it? Yes, it does.
Huh. I
I
didn't
have
know that.
I have the Ramones stuck in my head,
Uh-oh.
Get them out. They're messy.
right? Tell me you don't like the Ramones.
Not that much on the Ramones.
How can you not like the Ramones?
I didn't say that. I said I'm not that much on them. AW54CE-OPN.
Because it's definitely not the Bobby Freeman version that's stuck in my head.
What
I guess
song?
it could be the Beach Boys version. Oh,
What song?
Do you want to dance? Like I said, weird
Ah.
stuff stuck in my head.
Well, I'm sure we're really making Londoner feel very uplifted.
Yeah, well, if the other guys would show up, we could actually do things like discuss what's going to be on the next show.
Well, we should probably discuss what's going to be on the next show anyhow, and
Well,
let them catch up.
Yeah, yeah. I know that there was an idea posted about what was going to be on the next show. What was it? Let's see if I can find it. It wasn't Nishant that posted it. It was Norbert. Mentioned something about setting up distro hopping the easy way. Or
Is there
making
an easy
distro
way?
hopping easier. It's basically
You
just
do it, man. You just do it.
It's basically making a dedicated partition for your home drive and then pointing everything to it.
Making a Ventoy stick.
Yeah, or making a Ventoy stick. But
Yeah, I was surprised on the Raspberry Pi. Last time we talked about Pi, I was doing exactly the same thing with my Pi, but I managed to talk about it more credibly this time. It actually wasn't just a throwaway discussion. I actually could say some things. Thank you, Joe, for pointing that out. You did.
what did I point out?
You said, well, you could talk about this, that, or that. And I go, oh, yeah, I could, couldn't I? I didn't mention whose Plex server I was using.
It's fine. Everything on my Plex server is legally obtained.
He says
Joe,
with
I've
almost
got
a
it.
straight face.
We've got a punk concert coming up in Turlock, and there's a couple crossover bands too. I just put the flyer in the general, but I thought it looked kind of cool.
I'd love to go to a punk concert, but yeah, I don't think they have them here.
Yeah, it's a very rare occasion. A friend of mine sent that to me.
Dead Kennedys?
Yeah. I'm a big fan of municipal waste.
Hey,
don't know
there's
anything
lots
about
of people looking for dead Kennedys in Texas, Joe.
Uh-huh, I'm aware. It's actually really close to me. Like, really, really close to me.
The grassy knoll?
Yeah, dude, I've been there.
I still don't see how the Warren Commission could look at that video and say there was a single shooter when he was obviously shot from two completely different directions.
It's debatable. I don't know if it's obvious that he got shot from two different directions because when a bullet hits something, it can bounce back. And he was in a moving vehicle, which would have somewhat changed the angle as well. So.
But the moving vehicle was backed with upholstery, so if it bounced off of something, it'd just go.
I'm not saying that the bullet bounced off of something. I'm saying it changed the angle that it entered him.
Wow.
And as the bullet was pushing forward, it also would have caused him to move in another direction. So it very well could have been that the bullets came from the same location. I can't say for certain.
I've got a song for that. It's I gotta close this. My wife is getting uppity in the kitchen, it sounds like.
It's also been a really long time since I watched that video.
Yeah. It's a Roy Zimmerman song called Hell Froze Over Today. They installed a condom dispenser at the Vatican.
Oh.
Yasser Arafat said he'd never wear that hat again.
Boss!
It's
I said nothing.
94. All these things are dead, you know?
uh,
Including us, Aeroflot.
caffeine the easy way.
Oh,
Oh,
there
this is
is.
the easy way. I got
Did
my big silver bullet percolator.
did you have to percolate it?
Yeah.
Then this is the easy way. I just walked over to the fridge, opened the can.
Yeah, well, you had to pay for the fridge.
Did you have to pay for the percolator?
Costs less than a fridge.
We got that at the ACO.
Let's get really meta. How much did it cost for the electrical outlet and then the house?
Yeah, really. The
Oh,
fridge sucks a lot more energy than the percolator, too.
have you guys been watching
True.
gas prices?
Yeah,
Yes, they spiked.
Oh, and they're probably
I
only
had
going to get worse.
this is why
no, they
we
are.
drive cars that get better than 30 miles per gallon and
This
have
is
tiny gas tanks.
well, they're sending me back. I haven't been driving much, in like the last 2.5 years
Yeah,
ish, and I get to start going back to the office on Monday.
lovely.
So I
Oh,
haven't been paying for gas, so now I have another expense for gas. But I'm going to see if
Yeah.
I can work something out and maybe only go 2 or 3 days a week until everybody else starts going to the office too.
hmm
Plus,
Well, our loaner car is a Chevy Spark, and when I'm driving it, I'm getting about 38, and my wife drives it, it's more like 33.
I've interviewed for 2 new positions at work. And I'll probably put this all
Cool.
in my biweekly wanderings too. But I've interviewed for 2 new positions at work. I really doubt anybody from work is watching this right now. So, but one of them's a lead position on another team that does a lot more of the sysadmin style work. So, one of my close friends at work is the lead over there, and he's moving on to Amazon, and recommended me for that position. So I interviewed for it. It was a very impromptu interview, and I knocked that interview out of the park.
Good.
nice.
I'll be
And
right back. I need to get some eye drops here.
and probably got another listener for mintCast. Go for it, Moss.
Whoa.
All
Yeah.
right.
During that interview, and then I interviewed for his boss's position as well, so a management role. But it that was an interview with my manager's manager, and I'm not saying any names or anything like that, but that person is extremely hard for me to get a read on to
Hmm.
see how they're reacting or anything. Even in person, I've had conversations with this person, and it's just really hard to read.
So does
Nice
that mean
person.
like if you got that position, you'd leapfrog them?
No, um, like this is my manager's manager that interviewed me for the management position. What it would mean is that my current
Ah, I got
manager
you.
is I would be at his level.
Ah, gotcha.
But both roles are an advancement to VP instead of AVP.
Nice.
And while they won't necessarily come with a raise, they might.
Well, I suppose potential's better than,
Yeah.
just a straight side grade or
Well,
something.
it all uh, the the lead role. I'd prefer the management role because it is something new and completely different from what I normally do, and it would be growth for me. But that lead role as well, while it's technically a lateral move that is a higher position, um, the nice thing about it is it's different from what I've been doing for the last 5 years, and there's a lot more hands-on involved because my role has we did really well at automating everything and getting us out of the Linux boxes and making the role simpler. We, like that was a big push that we did, and we did it really well. and now, other than leading the people on the team, it's gotten to be a little bit boring for me.
I hear that. I've
I
been
mean,
doing the same thing for 16 years, and that's a little monotonous.
well, in the tech field, it's unusual to go 5 years in the same position.
Very true.
And that's what I'm up to. I'm up to 5 years doing the same thing. So, granted, it's changed, it's grown, but I want to move on.
Right. Oh, hey. Maybe one of these two opportunities will come through for you.
Well, or I could apply at Amazon and see what happens.
Hmm.
Talk to my buddy that's making the move and see if there's any other positions available.
Yeah, I have a friend that works in some kind of big wig role over there. Makes a pretty good living.
But I don't want a developer role.
Well, I see the quality of the company is not improved.
Sorry to disappoint you, Moss.
Well, it lowered when I came in the room, so I guess I'll be okay with that.
Oh,
Well, like I was saying, I really don't want a developer role. I like development, but I don't think I'd want to do it for a living.
no.
Hey, maybe we could get on with Canonical.
Those guys have it rough.
Joe?
Yeah, I heard you. Get on with Canonical. That might be cool.
I don't know. All the cool people seem to be leaving Canonical.
Everybody seems to be jumping the boat and switching companies right now, and everywhere.
Well, I also noticed that Canonical's usage seems to have dropped in whatever download statistics there are. It's
Yeah.
like they used to be half of everything, and now they're getting closer to a quarter.
But really, right now, if people are looking for jobs, they're hiring everywhere, even at the higher levels.
Yeah, well, they don't have a low enough level for me, so
Likewise.
I tried so hard to get a job. I mean, nobody knows more about installing Linux distros on used hardware than I do. I mean, I'm reasonably sure about that. I may not have a broad spec. I've only done HPs and Lenovo's lately.
It carries
and
over.
Asus. Yeah.
It carries over.
It's mostly just a matter of which key do you push to get to BIOS.
Well, my brother does a lot of installing of Windows at the, for corporations or medium to small size businesses.
Yeah, I would hate to do that.
Yeah. But he automates the whole thing and puts it on all the computers.
Yeah, I was so shocked about what I had to go through to get Linux on the Think Center. So I even wrote it up, and everyone going, "Wow, I never had to do that on a Lenovo product." I go, "Yeah, and you've only had laptops, right?" "Yeah, oh yeah, only laptops." "Well, this is a Think Center; it's not a laptop." It has a different BIOS in it for some reason.
It's like installing Linux on a tablet. Sometimes you got to jump through some hoops.
Indeed. And, speaking of jobs, I walked into McDonald's yesterday, and I noticed they had their hiring sign plastered to the plexiglass window between the cashier and myself. They're starting here at $16 an hour.
Same here. We got a Chipotle right across the street. Well, like 2 blocks, but $16 an hour starting pay.
My goodness.
If I could stand up, I'd do stuff like that.
I might do it.
If it's paying
too
more
far in front of that, really.
If it's paying more, give it a shot.
If they have a sit-down job
I'm
for me,
still
I'd
about.
take it.
Yeah, I still make a good chunk more than that, but not a ton. Not.
Well, if the work-life balance would be better and the pay isn't that much worse, then give it a shot.
I think I'd rather move on to something that's a little less strenuous. I think I'm a bit old for fast food.
Well, don't get into telemarketing.
Yeah.
Oh God, no.
You'll hate yourself.
I could never. I yell at those people, even though I know they don't deserve it. But they call it such inopportune hours.
I usually hang up when I hear that beep that says that
Yeah.
the reverse connection happened. Oh, telemarketing.
Yep. Bye.
Yeah, my phone does
Yeah, and
not. My phone does not pick up a phone number that I don't already have in my
I have to.
list.
I have to
Yeah,
pick
you
up.
do. I'm not running for school board.
Well, it's not just that; it's work too. I
Yeah,
mean, who
I'm not
knows?
working.
A lot of times, it comes in and it actually says scam crawl across the top simply because it comes from India. But I actually, have to talk to people from India all the time for work.
Yeah,
yep.
I love the ones that
Yeah.
tell me that my Norton just expired and I have to renew right now, and
Right.
I'm
Or your Windows machine isn't updating the way it should. Please call customer service as soon as possible.
well, of course it's not updating the way it should. It's not a Windows machine.
Right.
I've actually talked to those guys on the phone before, and it's like, what IP? Well, oh, one of them. Which one of my Windows machines? One of
Yeah,
them.
same thing. We're calling from your Visa and MasterCard to give you a better rate. Which Visa? All of them?
Mm-hmm.
Which MasterCard? Hold
Well,
on. Wait, just a second. I don't have a MasterCard.
yeah, yeah. Well, the fun thing, I have heard that those places actually do get you a better interest rate, but they also bill your account $250 to do that.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Speaking
only
of
have one
250
credit card now
bucks.
anyhow. So, well,
Yeah, I have the
I have
one.
two I have two credit cards. I have one that's only good for gas at Exxon. Well, I can use it in the store too, but only at Exxon.
I have one credit card currently,
Mm.
and it has a low upper limit, so it's not like I can. It's easy for me to max that credit card out, but I pay it off each month, and I use it
Yeah.
to track specific spending so that I know how
And it
much is
doesn't
going into
even
it each
matter what
month.
your interest rate is because you're never invoking it.
Exactly. As long as I pay it off, there's zero interest.
Yeah, well, we've got the Exxon card. It has an $1,100 limit, and I don't think we have enough cars to put $1,100 worth of gas in anything.
Oh, just wait, Moss.
And then we've got the Allo card, which is actually from the Bank of Missouri, which I'd never heard of before. It used to be a little bank in, I think, Parrott County, Missouri, and then it has grown to like 42 branches. But
Oh.
they also issue their own credit cards.
I have to figure out the funding to get the foundation fixed on my house.
Ooh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not going to be a cheap one.
no.
No.
I'll probably be looking at
Depending
that
on what
eventually.
actually is broken, though.
Oh, it's just shifted a little bit in the front. It's not shifted very much. I mean, it could be a lot worse than it is, and it'll be under 10,000,
Yeah.
but not by a massive amount.
They're the ones that just jack up your house, or
Yeah, well, they might not even jack. They might use the jack, but it's mostly wedging. I mean, it's an inch or two off, but it's enough off that it's causing the frame on one of my windows to not actually hold in the window.
yeah.
Oh.
So
I've noticed a lot of new cracks in the plaster in my house since I've had it.
yeah,
But
One
it's
of
old. It was built in 43.
the other house that we were offered to go live in for free was in such bad shape that it was concrete slab foundation and there were huge cracks in it.
Ugh.
Just yeah, no. We told him we loved the land. If he'd let us tear the house down and put a trailer on it, we would love to live there. We'll pay for the trailer. Yeah.
What books you reading lately, Moss?
Well, we're still on Dresden. Well, Butters still hasn't picked up the sword.
Ah, okay.
Um, In fact, we're right at where Dresden is calling his whole card in, and we just learned what the whole card was.
What was it?
Mind, what's his name? The shapeshifter.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Goodman Gray.
Goodman Gray, that's right. So that's where we're at in that. We've slowed down a little bit because some nights we just go to bed. But we're also running out of Dresden, so.
Yeah. Like I said, that big gap up till the last two books that just came out, I guess he forgot some stuff, and some of the continuity is just really, really off, and some of the storylines that I think he was planning on going with kind of got broken. So.
I'm also reading two other books. One is the third book in a 4-book series by David Weber. It's a
Which
fantasy
one?
novel.
Oh, I'm familiar with David Weber.
The War God ones with Bozel.
Oh, I
Main character.
figured it was what is it? The
No, I don't read Chastity or whatever her name is. I don't read the military stuff. I read the fantasies. It's like one of my favorite fantasy authors is Glenn Cook, but everything else he writes is military.
yeah.
The Black Company is not my cup of tea.
Black Company isn't my cup of tea either, but some of his other stuff is really good.
And I just read a first book that has got to go on. It just got to. I've read 2/3 of it. I had to keep putting it down because I didn't want to run out of book before I ran out of story. It's called Legends and Lattes. It's this female orc collects a Scalvert stone off of a critter that she slaughtered and doesn't want any of the gold and stuff laying around the Scalvert and whatnot, and goes and opens a coffee shop in a town. She has a hobbit that she hires as a carpenter, and gets a partner in the shop who is a succubus that's trying to run away from her past. It's a fun story. It is really a fun story.
Oh, I just got done rereading the Takashi Kovacs novels, Altered Carbon, and the two that came after it, Woken Furies, and I can't remember what the third one was. But
yeah, we watched all the show finally.
Yeah, and then now I'm rereading John Conroe. His Demon Accords novels. Oh, and then I was thinking about going back, like way back, and reading me some Ursula K. Le Guin, just because she is epic.
She is. There are others in that period I love. And of course, as soon as I say that, their names go out of my head.
Yeah, that happens to me too.
Damon Knight was married to another really good author who started out writing some great science fiction and then later just got into psychological fiction. I'm trying to remember her name because I've read almost everything she's written.
Oh, the Penguins are playing. I'm missing the hockey game to hang out with you guys.
Oh, there's so much.
Who's your team, Joe?
Huh?
Who's your team?
Penguins.
Stars?
Penguins.
Ah.
Now, I will go and see a Stars game, but I can't afford the Stars Penguins game because that's $200 a ticket.
Ouch.
A bunch of their other games are lower cost, but we've just been waiting for, COVID to die down a little bit.
Right.
And I haven't reread The Wheel of Time this year, so I didn't reread The Wheel of Time last year, so I'm gonna pick that up shortly.
I haven't read The Wheel of Time, but we are watching the show.
It's so different. I know that I should be able to set aside what I know about the book in order to be able to watch the TV show, but in this case, I just couldn't.
Well, I cannot find a way to send you guys a link. Oh, now I've got a link. Okay, here we go. And into there and into, I guess, general here.
Oh, and I just
Dazed on the Green.
I
Oh,
just
that's the punk concert.
I just recently reread some John Scalzi. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but I really like his
I'm
old
familiar with
man.
him, but I'm not familiar with his writing. I'm
Uh,
familiar with his reviews
yeah.
and his commentaries, but not his own books.
I really like The Old Man's War, which is a 6-book series.
Well, this book, if Travis can write more books in the series, this is going to be hot stuff.
And
I mean
then
that.
for new stuff, I'm planning on reading Enola Holmes by Nancy Springer.
Don't know that.
Well, it's Sherlock Holmes' little sister. There was that Netflix
Oh, okay,
show. Um,
okay.
so I was going to try that out. And then I picked up some really odd Sherlock Holmes books.
Oh, I wonder if I still have that out. I'll be right back.
Sherlock Holmes
I
and the
packed a lot of stuff, so
Miskatonic
I may not find it.
Monstrosities.
Hmm.
Sherlock Holmes and the Sussex Sea Devils.
None of these sound familiar to me.
Oh, and I picked up The Last Archive. Because I'm trying out new stuff, so along with listening to old stuff.
Sure.
Nope, I packed it.
I'm still trying to get through, what is it, The Eye of the World?
That's the first book, right?
Yeah.
I may have mentioned this before, Joe, but I have a set of both CDs and cassette tapes, different productions of the same stuff, and it's all the original Sherlock Holmes short stories with really big name actors doing it, like Sir Ralph Richardson.
Is
And
it the BBC radio drama?
no, it's actually a Minnesota
Oh, okay.
public radio.
Okay, cool.
But they got all the they even got Orson Welles to come in as Moriarty.
That's
No
awesome.
kidding.
That's awesome. Oh, and
Cool.
obviously, you know Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman.
Oh yeah, Dragonlance.
Yeah, except I'm halfway through the Dark Sword Quadrilogy, so I need to get back to that. I liked that book as a kid. It's a little weaker now that I'm, old.
Yeah. It's funny how they lose their luster sometimes when you get a few years on you.
Like all the Forgotten Realms stuff. That was some of my favorite stuff. It's a little harder to listen to these days. All the R.A. Salvatore novels. I still really like how R.A. Salvatore writes. It's just a whole lot harder to get through his books.
Yeah. Yeah, I got my daughter an R.A. Salvatore, like a compendium type of thing, doing all the Dark Elf
Such a prolific
books.
writer. I don't know if I could ever catch up.
Oh, she got a few pages in and said, I am not into this at all. So, yeah. Dad didn't do good on that Christmas gift, I guess.
You don't know unless they try it.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, they've got. I didn't remember. Sir John Gielgud is playing Holmes in this.
Oh, Jackie, what was that one series that I recommended for you that I had tried out that I thought you'd like better than me? Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. No, but I picked up another new book series. It was like a 3-book or 4-book that you could get in a compendium, and I really thought my wife would like it more than I liked it. So I bought her a copy, a physical copy, and gave that to her, but she hasn't had a chance to read it yet, and I just can't remember what the book series is.
I just put a Holmes link in.
I had 2 other books that came out when you ended it.
I'm not worried about it. You'll read it when you want to.
Although I won't read it.
Sounds like somebody's getting the business now.
No, she's worried that I'm upset that she, didn't devour the book as soon as I handed it to her. But she had 2 other books that also came out at the same time, and from authors that she knows and really wants to read. So the books will still be there when she's ready to read them. I'm just wondering if
Absolutely.
I was right in that she would really like the series.
Time will tell.
Yeah. On the weight bench today, I really think I didn't have perfect range of motion, but I had much better range of motion than I had last time I was trying 295 pounds.
You been doing anything specifically to work on that?
I just alternate. When I'm trying to increase my range of motion, and I drop the weight down to 200 or 220. I'll just make sure that I'm practicing doing the full to the chest, then back up, to the chest, then back up.
Yeah.
And then I just keep that in mind when I switch to the heavier weights.
It's tough to remember all that when you're maxing, because, yeah, that can... Your concentration is usually, I hope I don't drop this on myself.
Let's not die.
Get it back up.
Let's not
Right.
blow the shoulder.
Yeah. Crushed sternum doesn't sound fun today. Yeah.
But I've gotten 2 sets in, and with the larger range of motion, I'm sticking with like 2 per set, because it's a lot of frickin' weight for an old man.
It is a lot of weight.
But then I see people, just wrecking like 400 pounds like it's nothing.
Yeah, sometimes those people have special vitamins that help them do that, Joe.
Some of them do. Some of them do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Still, I'd love to be able
I
to.
do not want to wind up looking like Dave Bautista. The blue
I
skin
don't
dye
think-
would do it
Oh,
for me.
I
yeah.
don't think that's a concern. That's years and years of work and chemicals.
Decades. Yeah. I'd settle for like Charlton Heston or something like that. A good natural, clean,
Mark Wahlberg?
athletic look. That would be enough. Yeah, he's another good example.
He's pretty diced. But I don't know if he's natural. It's hard to say.
Yep. Yeah, I think some of his roles he looks a little more swollen up than, especially in his
Pain
younger
and
days.
Gain?
He looks like.
I lost you guys again. There you're
Oh
back.
no, you didn't lose us. We
Hmm.
lost him.
Ah.
Anonymous website. Kremlin's website is down.
My dicey internet connection.
A little bit. It hasn't been bad, but it hasn't been solid either.
Well, we are up in these hills pretty well. So, yeah, it only gets so good. And by the way, speaking of gas prices, I drove my full-size V8 truck out here, and it was about 2 hours climbing elevation.
Man,
I burned a lot of fuel.
I'm missing my Hyundai. I've got a big old Buick and a van. I mean, neither one of those is going to get, good gas mileage. It's almost
Which Hyundai do you have?
I had the Elantra. Had.
They're
I
good.
got rid
I
of it a
have
while
one
ago.
too.
Mm.
Well,
We have an accent, which is sort of a barely downsized Elantra. What's really strange is they get about the same gas mileage, although the Elantra has a bigger engine.
I really liked my Elantra while I had it. It just got old and it was time to get rid of it.
Yeah, it was really strange. I did a lot of research when I was looking for this accent for my wife. I had an accent before and I lost it in a flood, and that's how I got my Mazda, because that was the best car I could get to replace it with the money they gave us.
I remember.
But I went looking for a Hyundai Accent hatchback because she wanted a rear wiper. And I found I was looking at Elantras and Accents, and for some reason, all of the rating agencies say the Accent is one of the best small cars you can get, and the Elantra is subpar. It's like they didn't use the same people to put them together or something. I don't know.
Well, there's an issue with the modern Elantras. It may be solved now, but the 1.8 liter engine, which is the one I have in mine,
Mm-hmm.
has a tendency for failure, like chopsticks out the bottom of the oil pan failure. So
Ow.
yeah. So there's a lot of years that got covered under that, and they don't score very highly on reliability because of that. But thus far, my other half has the Elantra, which is why I'm in the truck. But no problems yet, and she drives like a terror.
I
Yeah.
don't know what my next car is going to be. It's probably going to be a small one. It's either going to be a small car or it's going to be like a really small truck. Because those get good gas mileage too, and you can actually, move things with them.
You know what? That's what I was looking for when I went looking for a truck, Joe, and cost is the full size. It's
Yeah.
incredible. There's
Yeah.
almost no difference.
Well, also, they're
You
not
can buy a
making.
house for less than you can buy a pickup truck these days.
Yeah, they're not making the small size trucks like they used to.
Yeah.
You can't
That's
really
true. They're all
find
like
them.
mid-size.
So yeah, like your Nissan. But so I'm gonna have to go used, and I'm gonna have to go older. But it's still something that I think that would
Oh,
serve me really well.
they made Ford Rangers up until
You
fairly recently.
bet.
Yeah, but they started getting larger, didn't
Oh,
they?
they still make them, most. Yes, they did. And they now have a turbo four-cylinder that makes 300 horsepower. I think 310. So they're quite robust compared to the old. If you
But I might look at an older S10 or an older Nissan or an older Toyota. Just a really small truck. Yeah, it'll have a hitch, but it's not going to haul much.
You could buy a Baja.
I could find my self-respect and not get a Baja.
You wanted a small pickup.
I also want my self-respect.
yeah, there's always rancheros and El Caminos.
Hey, I like Rancheros and El Caminos.
Yeah, I saw a really nice one this morning. We went to the local store and a guy had one, and he clearly had some work done on the engine. You could hear the thing loping.
The
You
thing
know,
about
and
the
yeah,
Rancheros and the El Caminos, though, yeah, they do have the bed, and but they're not lightweight vehicles. They're not light vehicles at all. They got that
no,
solid steel frame and a giant engine, either a 350 or a 351, or somebody put something bigger in them. So
yep.
you're not really saving anything on gas mileage by getting either one.
No.
And yeah,
Nope,
you're
that's true.
you're it's not fitting the use case that I have right now. Ah, I'm such a nerd. I just use the
Well, no,
words
you just
use
want.
case.
What? You can't put 3 full racks in it?
Well, no, for hauling things around, the Ranchero and the El Camino are kind of perfect, and it's just they are heavier and they won't get that better gas mileage, and they're gonna have a big old V8 in it,
And probably a non-overdrive transmission.
and probably a non-overdrive transmission.
Yeah, which is not good for fuel either.
So
Yeah, I
Yeah,
had a
you're right. They're full steel frame. They're not unibody.
I
So
mean, I would love to take an El Camino to a drag track. Now, I'd have to put some weight in the back end because of how it's set up, but I would love to drag race either one. Get
mm,
a
sandbags.
yeah, sandbag. Put sandbags in the back just so you get that
Mm,
extra traction, and then I'd probably have to go for a 383 or what, a 454, or something absolutely crazy under the hood, and
That's
yeah,
like putting a 428 in a Gremlin.
Oh
that
man.
would be fun. That would be insanely. Did you see my eyes get big there? That would be awesome. Dude, you should see some of the crazy things people have done with Chevy Vegas, which is just this
Mm.
little tiny wagon, but it's
Well,
got like a
Gremlins are worse.
full-size front end.
They have a full-size front end and no rear end, and
Yeah,
stand them up in no time.
the Vega is kind of the same way, except a little bit
Yeah,
newer than the Gremlin.
Oh,
my
the little
cousin
Vega wagon,
actually
you mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
my cousin drag raced a Vega before he passed, and I actually helped him build the hood scoop for it out in his driveway. And what it was a street sign that we had
Um,
bent up. I don't know how he came across it, but it was an old street sign.
And you
now
didn't
he said,
ask.
no, I didn't
there's
ask.
some
But he
questions you
said,
don't ask.
yeah, he said now that we can officially say the car is government funded.
Yeah, but yeah, I've seen Vegas drag race, and it's always hilarious to see this little tiny car with wheelie bars in the back,
Hmm.
and then they get out there and you see why.
Oh yeah, he ran 11s with that thing, and it was just with a pump 350 in it. Now, by the time it got to the end of that quarter mile, the thing was on the verge of overheating. I mean, it was pushed to the max, but yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, yeah. I haven't been to a drag track in forever though. I might have to go visit Iowa just to go to a freaking drag track.
Oh, surely they got them in Texas.
Yeah, but I don't know any of them. I'm
Hmm.
sure they got them in Texas, but I like the drag tracks back in Iowa.
Hmm.
Plus, it'd give me a reason to go see my foster mom and my foster dad. I
And
haven't
there's
seen
a
them in a
house you can
while.
stay in.
There's a house I can stay in. No, honestly, because nobody's lived there in a while, I know the electricity and the water are still turned on. But I'd probably hotels are cheap there.
Yep. Got a good friend of mine just moved back there. He's in Davenport, or he was. He moved to some small town because of the crime, unfortunately.
Yeah,
But
Davenport's a rough place.
yeah, I guess
Crime and
so.
drugs.
Yeah.
Damn.
He had a shooting in his apartment complex in like the first month that he lived there. I said, oh, that's not good.
Damn. You got crime in
Yeah.
Iowa. What's this world coming to?
Well, Fort Dodge is a rough place. Des Moines is kind of a rough place.
Drive by Cornings.
There's a lot of meth out in Iowa.
Oh man. Tell me about it. California is like a meth corridor.
Yeah, we have a lot of meth busts here, but they're all up in the north end of the county. We got three so-called cities in this county. The largest is Bean Station up at the north end, and that's where all the all the meth cooking is.
Can't beat small town life.
Yeah.
Well, by
no,
largest city, I mean 2,200 people.
for having kind of grown up in a small town area, I was really surprised at the number of people I saw whose lives were frickin' ruined by meth. But then again, I saw people that were casual drug users their entire life too, and it never became a problem for them.
Right.
Mm.
I just like the communal feel of small towns, little farmers markets and all that. You get into these towns where
I
it gets
do
larger and you're just a number.
I do miss the farmers market in Algona. Both
Yeah.
buying stuff there and selling stuff there. I mean, you want fresh made cinnamon rolls straight off the farm.
Mm. That sounds pretty good about now. I felt
That,
5 pounds just hit the gut.
that's a good reason to go visit my foster mom, let me tell you. Because that was literally
Homemade
a
rolls.
farm. Yeah. Home cooking in general.
Oh, man.
She can cook.
We
Yes,
were
sir.
supposed to get our Hyundai back from the shop yesterday, but they don't have all the parts in yet, so they extended our rental until I think March 5th.
Oh, that's good. As long as you got some wheels underneath you.
Well, I've got my Mazda 2, and we've got the rental car, which is a Chevy Spark.
That'll work.
They gave us a Corolla, and apparently they had the seat jacked up or something because we could not even get in that car. I mean, we got
Really?
in and we hurt, and we drove it a mile to get lunch, and got back in, and we hurt, and we drove it right back to Enterprise and said, we want that little Chevy Spark over there.
Oh, was it a newer Corolla?
Yeah, well, Enterprise, they only have newer cars.
Yeah, that's true.
But apparently it was just that the last person was short and they had the seat jacked up.
Uh,
And I am not. And my wife is not small.
I'm with you, Moss.
I did put back on a couple of pounds. If that makes you feel any better.
Yeah, well, it might just be muscle, so.
I'm. Oh no. My eating kind of got away from me for a few days. I was in the 3,000 plus 3,000 calories plus category there for a little while, and I went from 201 to about 208, and I think right now I'm at like 205.
What are you using for your base calories right now?
Um, it's hard for me to keep a like base. So I try to stick to under 2,300 calories,
Yeah, okay.
which is okay when I'm not working out, but it's low when I am like really getting my workouts in.
You start feeling sluggish.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So when I'm actually like when it starts warming up enough for me to go biking again and walking with my son again, um, I'll probably bump up to around 2,700 and stick there for a while and see how I feel. If I start putting
There you
on
go.
weight, I'll drop it down to 2,500. When are you going to join me on this journey?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Oh man. Actually, I need to. I bought that exercise equipment. I got the stationary bike and the bands and all that stuff. I was gonna get cracking on it, and then COVID came, so that kind of derailed me.
Hey,
I
you
got
know
one
what?
day in on the.
If you're careful, COVID doesn't get into your garage.
I wish I had a garage, but no such luck.
Your living room, exercise bike can go right there in front of the TV.
That's where it's at. So I just have to get off my lazy butt now and actually go do
Oh,
it. I've just
dude.
had a little residual fatigue from it, so
I
I
had a
was.
couple of those under desk pedalers. Now, I don't like using them
Mhm.
under a desk, but I used to set it up in the living room, and I did like 2 hours a day on those for several years before I moved to Dallas. And I had giant, humongous legs at the time because I was doing that. But yeah, then I got older, and 2 hours was a lot.
Yeah, yeah, that'll get the cardio going.
Oh, it's really low end, steady state cardio, that type of thing. But yeah,
Yeah, when I was young, I'd ride my bicycle all across Colorado. I wouldn't go over the mountains, but I hit the Front Range. Just going from Denver to Castle Rock is quite a workout.
well, I was able to get some biking in. I think it was late or no, early last week before it started getting cold again. And I was able to put in 10 miles, and that was about 40 to 45 minutes. So nothing too extremely fast.
But I was 160 pounds back then. And let me
Hmm.
tell you,
I
you
haven't.
can't get back into shape on a bicycle pushing around 280 pounds
You
because it's all
can, but it's
calories per gram per kilometer, man. You can't get that thing moving with that many more grams.
you can. Well, you can't get it moving, but getting in shape when you're 260 pounds is a lot more about diet than it is exercise.
Mm.
Yep. Which, speaking of which, I'm absolutely wrecking my calorie count right now.
That
My
happens.
Well,
cousin is going crazy.
Yeah, I went to a basketball game yesterday for the local high school, the Allen Independent School District. It was actually a really close game and fun to watch, and we only lost by, I think it was 4 points, and it was really close right up until the end. But yeah, I love stadium nachos.
Oh man.
well,
Yep.
my problem with diet is there are so many things I can't eat, and now that I've lost my teeth, there are more things I can't chew that I could eat.
That's what your blender's
And
for.
well, my blender is not up to the task, and Amazon keeps trying to sell us a new blender,
That's what your
and the
local
prices are not good.
yeah, that's what your local resale shop is for.
Mm.
Could be.
Well, there's a reason a lot of those things went to the resale shop.
You know, if it costs $5 and it only blends twice,
Well, and the other thing is I keep trying to eat healthier, and it turns out that the healthy stuff all is full of potassium and phosphorus, and that shuts my kidneys down.
That's a struggle we have with my daughter. She can't have potassium. She has Addison's disease, so she has renal or adrenal insufficiency. So we have to
Mm.
really monitor it because it affects her heart. So
so you're already
yeah.
used to tracking your macros. You're ready to go.
Oh yeah.
What if you do start
Just gotta
dieting?
execute it.
What are you thinking about setting your calories at?
Um, I'm already pretty low because I don't load, which the store-bought salads are right around 300 calories, 300 to 400, and then I don't eat again till dinner, and dinner's where I ruin it all because by that point I think I'm keeping the calories too low during the day, and then I just get ravenous at night, and then I do a plate and a half of carby
Yeah, it's
and rinse and repeat.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So
Among the
you know
things I
me.
am not allergic to include fat and animal protein.
we're doing porterhouse tonight on the smoker, Moss.
They have a diet for
I'll
that.
be right over.
It's called the carnivore diet, or
Oh my.
or keto. Both of those are very heavily
Keto
meat
will
based.
wipe out my, no, keto will wipe out my kidneys.
Well, you said you're not allergic to fat and protein.
I'm not allergic to fat and protein, but what they put in a keto diet will stoke up my kidneys and wipe them out.
Ah, no bueno.
And it also could work on my liver, and since that's still good, I want to keep it good.
But
I'll tell you
I
one I
don't.
did a long time ago was called the South Beach diet, and it was done by a cardiologist to help his patients lose weight, and I lost a lot on that. I almost got down to seeing a 1 again in front. Now, that's been like a couple of decades since that's happened.
But looking at my calorie count, I usually eat between 7 and 9 times a day.
Mm.
Oh, that's hard to do at work for me because I'm in a garbage truck and I'm rolling like from 4:45 in the morning until the work's done.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's probably going to have to change when I start going back to the office on Monday. I'm going to have to plan
Yeah.
things out a little bit differently.
Well, I
yep.
got down to 205 once about 8 or 9 years ago, and I looked like a skeleton. I think about 230 is where I should be, 225.
I'm at 205 right now, and I don't look like a skeleton.
No, but you're not me either.
We're about the same height, though.
And you don't have a shoulder that would keep you from lifting any weights.
Yes, I do.
You do. Well, you still lift the weight, so it apparently isn't working.
Well, it's not stopping me from lifting the weights, but it did stop me for a long time. And yeah, I had the torn rotator cuff, and it was one spot right there, and then two spots in the back.
Well, I have torn rotator cuff and bone spur and arthritis in that joint.
I'm working the arthritis angle, but that's mostly in my left hip.
We need to ask Tony what he did to get well because he used to not be able to hardly go out the door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he started with the slow walking. Either that or he's on the heavy drug diet.
I don't think many Quakers go for the heavy drug diet.
That's true.
Yep. It's starting to sound like a Bengay commercial around here, huh? Ain't got pain here.
Real-time pain relief, RTPR.
Oh, not. Yeah. Tiger balm. That's all I'm gonna
Whoa.
say.
We do Tiger Balm, but RTPR is more general purpose.
Yeah. Lots
Since
of.
we're
It's-
G-rated, I can't tell my Tiger Bomb story, but I will say it was a teammate during football.
You
It
gotta be
involved
real careful where you put it.
he
Yeah.
put it on his inner thighs and then pulled up his girdle, and I'll leave it at that.
And then screamed.
Yeah, oh yeah. Sat
Yeah, I
in
have
a
a story
water
I will
puddle.
not tell.
Loudly, like a little girl.
Uh-huh. And we went, ooh.
About using Vicks Vapor Rub as lubricant.
Nope.
Oh.
Don't wanna hear it.
Nope.
And then I have
That-
this other.
Oh, moss.
I have this other rub that my doctor prescribed me. They sell the same thing at Walmart though. Let's see if I can find it.
Do they even still make Tiger Balm? They do,
Yes,
don't
Yes.
I have a big
Yes.
thing of
Yeah.
Tiger Balm
And
somewhere
they still
around
make
here.
Vicks Vapor Rub too.
they? Oh, yeah, I use it on my chest still.
I'm starting to hear radio commercials on it lately. They're trying to get
Really?
people interested again.
Hey. Oh, yeah, there it is.
Oh, I've
Nice.
never seen that jar.
Dude, it's huge.
Yeah, I can see.
This is Amazon. They
We
sell them in
usually
2
get the
packs
little
on
bitty
Amazon. Yeah.
hexagonal glass jars.
When you buy them in store, you get those little tiny jars, and then you buy it on Amazon, and they sell you this huge
Well,
thing.
there's the little tiny tins, and then there's the smallish glass jars that are hexagonal.
Yeah.
And that's the largest I've seen. Is that?
Oh, that's not it.
Let me
I'm
open
not
up
finding my
Amazon.
other rub. It's here somewhere, or it's inside somewhere.
Yeah, it's kind of cool to hear that Vapor Rub's making a resurgence. That stuff's really useful.
Yeah, clearing your sinuses.
Yeah, put
Yeah.
it on your chest, like the old days.
Well, I got a lot more fur on my chest than I had in the old days.
Well, you can also just,
Oh, man.
line your nostrils with it.
Ooh. I imagine that'd be like lining it with wasabi. Yeah, if you don't mind a heavy menthol scent and maybe some slight
Wow,
burning.
23.12 for that big tin.
That's not bad.
I don't think I paid that much for it, and I got 2 of them.
Well, I mean, I'm sure it would last a while.
Well, they have
Yeah.
a 2-pack of jars for $11.36. That's 0.63 ounce, and the big one is 1.7 ounce.
Well, I got 2 of those big
it's
ones.
a pack of 2 for 23.12.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's great.
and it lasts a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And there's one for 12.29.
Oh, when did this turn into the old man show? God.
Oh, do we need to talk about the old style shaving? I can get into the old, whip yourself creams and yeah.
Well, a lot of people do that as a hobby these days.
All night.
There's actually a
But
very
now my hair's turning gray. I have to go to bed at 9. Rub on a tube of Bengay.
no. There's actually a big scene for the people that shave with the giant stropping razor and
Oh yeah.
yeah.
It's gotten to the point. I've been doing it for about 10 years, and I mean, a lot of those razors now that used to go for, $5-10, they're financially out of reach for me. So it's become like kind of a, I don't want to call it hipster, but kind of a scene
A niche
thing.
hobby.
Yeah.
And it is
Yep.
a little bit hipster.
It is a little, but
So you're a
also
hipster
better
now.
than. Oh, me? Oh, I think I'm probably about the furthest thing from a hipster. I'm not hip at anything.
No, but
My right hip's going out, so yeah.
Yeah, if it count that.
yeah, that style of shaving is just way too much work for me.
Well, it's kind of almost
Heck, this style of
ceremonial in a
shaving is
sense.
too much work for me, but I do it anyhow.
Yeah, you have to be into it, and you have to be doing it, a bit for the experience. And yeah, I mean, there's side benefits. Like it's better for the environment. You're not throwing away, plastic 5-blade cartridges. Everything's made of metal. When you're done with that metal blade, into a recycle container.
Yeah.
So
I still have one of those, but the art of using it has escaped me over the years.
that's a big thing. Like you have to stay in practice because if you take some time off and you start forgetting the skill, then you
Plus,
can
I
do some
assume
damage.
it requires a pretty steady hand.
Well, my hand is steady enough. It's just every now and again
It
you get it just
depends.
at the
Like if you're
wrong
trying to
height.
do straight razor, like you were talking about.
Eh.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not. I'm.
So what are we doing for topic? Are we gonna do the distro hopping thing, or I
Well,
know
everybody
Bill
else
put.
isn't here, and that's the only idea I've heard is the distro hopping.
Okay, I saw Bill put one up. I put one up. It was just kind of
I never got the straight razor. This is about all I've managed.
I have one of
double-edged
those.
safety
My
razor.
skill on that.
Yeah, I have one of those.
Hmm.
Hang on, getting my ears back. There.
Yeah, double-edged safety razor.
Yep, adjustable.
Yep.
Hard to find the adjustable ones anymore. They make ones that just have a top that screws on, and I'm going, huh? What do you do that for? Anyhow.
Yeah, I have both styles, and yeah, they're nice. I also have single-edge safety, and I did try the straight razor one time, and I put about a 1/4-inch gouge in my chin, and I
Yeah.
said, I don't think I'm gonna
No.
do that again. I'll
I
stick
don't
with
want
the
to
others.
turn myself into Sweeney Todd.
Right.
Or more likely, Sweeney Todd's victim.
Yeah. Plus, there are a lot of upkeep.
But yeah, you can get a box of 120 Persona blades for this for like $6 or something.
That's the thing. If you do it and you use it as a shaving system, it actually works out to be tons cheaper, about 10 cents a blade or whatever. But if you get
I
into
get
it and
down
make
under
it a
1 cent
hobby,
blade.
yeah. But if you make it a hobby and all of a sudden you get the bug to start collecting, that's when you run into problems. It's not so cheap anymore. So, yeah. I don't know. I was trying to find those ideas. I think they went in the general chat. But if we end up doing just the whatever it is, the distro hopping, I'm fine.
Well, I know that Norbert also wants to do the hosting on the next one.
Okay. We need to start getting some episodes
Oh,
out
I
and
thought
then
I was
figure
going to
out.
be hosting this one. Oh, well.
Maybe. Well, Norbert's going to ask if he can, because he asked if he could host the last one. And I
Okay,
told him
well.
no on that one. But if we're going to rotate, then I'm good with you hosting, Moss. That'll be perfectly fine.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether I'll be here for the one after this, but I could be, and I'm trying.
And they moved that thing on that I have on the 6th till like right after the show, like 5 o'clock. So I might have to cut out a few minutes early.
Well, at least you'll be here for the bulk of it.
Yeah. But at least I won't stress if I post my audio late.
And then someone else will have to be doing the stream if you cut out early.
Bill's
gotta
all
hope
set up
that
to do
Bill-
the stream, yeah.
Yeah. Well, Bill knows just a little bit more about OBS than I do, and that's not much. But he managed to get it working, so. 3 months ago, he knew exactly about as much about OBS as I do. So,
Okay, so I found the ideas. So I threw up using Linux and FOSS to set and achieve goals, financial, physical, educational, etc. And Bill said our favorite FOSS alternatives to commercial software.
Hmm.
and
So
I
there's a couple
responded
more.
with our favorite commercial software as a response to good FOSS.
Yeah, you could always reverse it.
Yeah.
But
So
there
I don't
really
know.
isn't that much commercial software for Linux. There are a few commercial Office packages, and that's about it.
I keep hoping somebody on the team ends up getting the Steam Deck in hand.
Not me.
I'll make them run a whole innards section on that Steam Deck.
Hmm. Well, I think there's going to be a lot of Linux shows that'll be getting
I'm
those. I
fine.
know.
I'm fine. Those other Linux shows can do it too.
Yeah.
I mean, even
I
if
mean,
we're a
if you're
week
just
later than
looking
all of
for the
them.
information,
Yeah, I heard one person complain that he's getting all the same news from all the different shows. I'm going, well, not everyone listens to all the different shows. Yeah.
Right.
Maybe they like us better than Linux User Space or one of Joe Ressington's shows or something. And, if we don't say it, then they don't hear it.
Well, even within if you look at the Destination Linux network, I mean, they can get redundant within their own kind of ecosystem. You listen to
Yeah.
their shows; they cover a lot of the same stuff.
Well, there's a bunch of different Linux shows. How much different Linux news do you think there's going to be? It's like watching news channels. Guess what?
Well,
Guess what is on every news channel right now?
No, Ukraine and Russia.
I get between 10 and 14 news articles for a weekly show, and I still can go out on the web and find 20 or 30 other articles that aren't in my show. So there's plenty of news out there.
You can, but I
And
think they go for the big attention grabbing ones. The
well, I
the big.
don't know what Eric goes by, but we get good articles, but we don't overlap with This Week in Linux very often.
But yeah, I mean, seriously, wouldn't it be great? I mean, even if everybody else is doing a Steam Deck show, we do a Steam Deck show. Except, we also show, hey, look, it's going to run Linux Mint because we made it.
Yeah, no, it'd be awesome if someone is willing to pony up. What is it? Is it like $400 or something?
600 for the one that's actually worth a damn.
Ooh. Ouch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
But that's still
I just saw someone posting a video card for $1,200. I'm going,
But
no.
the $600 Steam Deck is still half the price of the Ava Neo and the other similar ones that are a similar size with similar functionality.
Oh, I still think it's a great price, especially right now. I mean, if you're looking to build a desktop computer, like you said, Moss, you're going to spend $1,000 plus just to get a decent video card. By the time you get that whole machine together, you're looking at a couple grand. So,
And
All the
that
machines in my house, including the two I have for sale, did not add up to what I would have to pay for this one video card.
yeah.
right.
No, video card
Yeah.
prices are still a joke right now. They have come down, strangely enough, but they're still a joke.
And I have managed to get both an NVIDIA and an AMD card for the Z800, and I never plugged the AMD card in because I stopped using the Z800.
But if you have $10, $15 USB-C dock with an HDMI out, you can turn that Steam Deck into a desktop.
Yep.
It's got
That's
the
true.
resources for it.
Yeah, it's using an AMD APU, right?
Yeah.
So you got plenty of horsepower.
I'm happy with my M700 Tiny, thank you.
Yeah, I just don't do enough gaming to necessitate a mobile gaming device. I sit down every once
That's
in a
it.
while.
I would buy one, and then I would use it like twice, and then it would collect dust.
Right.
So I'm not going to buy
I
one.
wouldn't buy one, and I wouldn't use it twice. When I lived in Asheville, my next door neighbor bought a Xbox, and he got a couple games that we liked to do, and I kept beating him and beating him and beating him, and so he stopped liking to do them, and so we never used the Xbox again. And I wasn't that good at it, but I could get some things to work with the multiple combinations and whatnot. It was a kung fu type game. I always played the drunken kung fu master and won.
And won. Yeah. Right. No, yeah, I'm not much. I used to be more of a gamer than I am now, but you know, once you hit a certain age, certain things take priority.
I was always jealous from the earliest times when I had a 286, and my wife's best friend in California had a 486 something with a monster video card, and basically $3,000 then worth of computer equipment. And I'm going, you don't even know how to run a word processor. You don't know how to do DOS. You're not using this computer. You're just playing with it. And it's 40 times the amount of money I could possibly spend on a computer, and mine are working.
Oh, man. Yeah, I remember those. As a matter of fact, the guy that our former dungeon master when I was younger, when I played D&D, he had a 486, and by that point it had gotten a little stale. But yeah, trying to get online.
By the time I got a 486, it was cheap. Or I wouldn't have had it. But yeah, I had a 486 DX266, and I was running Mandrake on that thing when I wasn't running Windows.
Hey, you know,
Windows 3.1 and Mandrake.
If that's all the computer you needed, it would do what you needed it to do, you know?
Yeah.
Yep.
I was getting on the internet in Windows 3.1 a lot longer than people thought you could. And it was cool because nobody was writing viruses in Windows 3.1 anymore. They were writing them for 98. Yeah.
So you were, that security through obscurity thing again.
Mm-hmm. Old hardware is fun.
It can be. I still regret throwing my Commodore 64 away.
Yeah, I never had a C64. My fourth wife had an Amiga 500. She had beefed up somewhat.
Yeah, those were fun.
I had a TI-99/4A, but I never really fully got into it. It was the first computer I actually owned. And then I married my third wife, and she was actually a digital quality control technician. And I would use a VT102 and a 2400 baud modem to go play NetHack on her VAX cluster at work.
Yeah.
Yeah, she managed her own VAX cluster.
Wow.
It's cold.
Yeah.
And then finally, my local sysop got tired of hearing me say, I can't see this, I can't do that. And he gave me on long-term loan original 5150.
Oh, 5150.
He had beefed it up. It originally had 2 full-height double-density floppy drives, and he had replaced one of those with a half-height high-density floppy drive and a 10 megabyte hard drive.
Oh, I'm sorry, I misconstrued this, Moss. I thought you were talking about your mental state. You were talking about a machine. That 5150.
There is a scoring range for mental health that a 5150 would do.
You never heard the term 5150?
No.
Oh, yeah. No, it's a way to say someone's a little off kilter. A little crazy.
I don't think IBM knew that.
Right.
This was the original PC, except it had the third variant of the motherboard with actually 256K on the motherboard. No, yeah, 512K on the motherboard.
Wow.
And then I had an expansion card that got it up to 640. And it could have gone to 720, but in those days, DOS would not read past 640, so I didn't bother, you know.
Amazing how far it's come, huh? You can't even think about running anything on those numbers anymore.
I keep telling people I was a senior in high school before we had pocket calculators, and they were $250.
The LTIs.
Yeah, I think they all were doing reverse Polish in those days too.
Reverse Polish.
Reverse Polish notation? You don't know RPN calculators?
I don't.
You put in the first operand, you hit enter. You put in the second operand, you hit enter. You hit the operation.
Oh, okay.
And then you get your answer.
Your result. Wow. Yeah. What do we get?
Look it up. You can get software RPN calculators for Linux.
Oh, just an update here from Bill. He said he'd be on in a minute, guys. I'm sorry I had an emergency. Took me off grid. So I guess Bill will be joining.
So if he gets on grid, does that mean we have gridlock?
Don't we always? We could rename the show Gridlock.
Yeah, this show has been going since, is it October of 08?
Has it been that long?
I'm pretty sure that was October of 08.
It's been a long time.
Wow. That's well before my Linux time.
Well, it was after mine, but I did not listen to the show back then. I first played with Mandrake, and I did a little bit of playing with Sousa back when it was just Sousa. And then Sousa was not able to do all the things I could do with Mandrake, and Mandrake wasn't quite ready for prime time as a replacement for Windows for me.
Well,
But the first one I actually did that really worked and I could use full time was Ubuntu 804. Yeah, 804.
That's
well, it looks
pretty early.
like my donation page is up and running.
Has anyone donated?
All right.
No, it just like 10 minutes ago it got up and running.
Well, you need to give us the link. There's Bill.
Hey, Bill.
No, I can't
Where
post
is
this
he?
on YouTube because YouTube doesn't like
Bill
links.
is in his cave.
Hey there,
That
Bill.
I am. Hey, sorry guys.
Hey, emergency
No,
happen,
you're not.
don't worry about it.
All right.
I hope it wasn't a dreadful emergency.
Well, not for me, but I had to go get a guy that was stranded up in Michigan with no heat. So truck broke down, wouldn't start. He was in the middle of nowhere.
No bueno.
Yeah, not good. So
How
great.
far was it?
Up by Traverse City.
How far was it?
Up by Traverse City. That's
Distance.
you're looking at about 200 miles.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a trip.
Yeah, it's all the way to the
Yeah,
top.
I
of the
may
mountain.
know where Traverse City is, but I don't exactly know where you are, and my maps don't actually put the distance in automatically.
Right on.
South
But it's over
Bend.
with now.
You're South Bend, right?
Fort Wayne.
Fort Wayne? Okay.
Yeah. So here's my new camera, and I don't know if it can see in the dark or not like the other one could.
Well, we've got front lighting on you, actually more to your right side,
Yeah, that's the light hanging
and
from
then
the
the back
ceiling.
is black, and then you've got your brown wall on your left.
Yeah. I suppose it's good enough.
Yeah, it looks fine.
What are you? You deployed to over in Eastern Europe? You look different.
Yeah, I'm on a
Point your
mobile
camera out the
solution.
window for him.
Oh,
Yeah, this is where he's at.
yeah.
Oh,
The animals are all gone. See
At
if-
least you have a nice view while you're podcasting.
yeah, that's all.
Yeah.
That's better than what I got right here in the basement.
Are those little cabins, Josh? Or just outbuildings?
Yeah, I'm out on my cousin's ranch, so those are just storage facilities. Yeah, they're just
You
little
could set those
storage
up as
sheds
tiny
for all the
homes and
farm
rent them out.
stuff. Shoot, I might move into one. I like it up here. There's no people, and that's right up my alley.
What town is that?
It's a little town called Prather in the eastern foothills of California, kind of east of Fresno and Clovis.
I will go look it up because I can do that.
It's
We
very
have
small.
ways of doing these things.
There you go. Internet.
Kind of like looking up the distance between Fort Wayne and Traverse City, huh?
It is sort of, but I just wanted a general idea in terms of miles for you. Prather, I'm interested. Oh, that is a nice little town on 168.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a neat place. It's very quiet. He's got a big potbelly wood burning stove here in the living room heating the house, and then we got the smoker going outside with some porterhouse and some ribs on there, and
Man, oh man.
I don't think
Yeah.
I've ever been on that road, actually. Of course, it doesn't go anywhere, so I probably haven't.
no, it's popular with the Harley riders out here. They'll
Yeah,
come
it
by
looks
and
like a nice
tax.
twisty bike road. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It goes up the lake shore, and then about all you can either that road or come down the other side.
This is a pass through, not a destination.
Yeah. The other side looks like a good motorcycle road, too, through Big Creek and Camp Sierra.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's a neat place. Definitely more animals than people.
Oh, yeah. You're right near the High Sierra Ranger District office.
Yep. Just went by it this morning.
Shaver Lake, I've been to Shaver Lake.
Have you?
Yeah, I've been to Shaver. I must have been 6 years old at the time, but I remember the name, and I think we went camping there once.
It's a really high-end area that you gotta have some money to live by Shaver.
Well, yeah, but not so much in the early 60s or late 50s.
Oh, right. No, I mean now. Yeah. Now it's a different demographic.
Yeah. I mean, when my parents bought their house, it was under $18,000, and as you know, my mom passed away, and they sold it and got $650,000 for it.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's quite a return on investment there.
Yeah, I only got 15% of that, but that's okay. I didn't do anything to earn it except get born in there.
Yeah, if they left you something. Yeah, that's more than I'm gonna get when my parents pass. Well, I should say my mother. I don't know where my father's at.
Well, I am out of coffee, people. Do we have anything to talk about? Should I get more coffee and come back?
With Bill here, we can get his idea on the next show.
Yeah, that would be helpful.
Okay. What do we got so far?
Ha 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 ha.
A whole lot of nothing.
Yes. Well, we had another request for the best setups to make distro hopping easy.
Is that popular, distro hopping?
That?
Tell them to listen to my other show.
Right?
Yeah, DHD people.
We got an entire podcast for that.
Right.
But I don't know. We could do that, or what was the other one that was requested?
FOSS solutions for commercial software.
Oh, that
Our
was mine.
favorite FOSS solutions.
And Moss chimed in with our favorite commercial solutions. So maybe we can.
To FOSS
It's a bit
software,
cheeky,
yes.
but yeah, maybe that's.
Well, as
There
I was
might be
saying,
some logic in that, you know.
as I was saying earlier, there really only are good commercial solutions to Office products. There aren't good commercial solutions to commercial drawing software. There are good FOSS solutions.
Well, you know,
They're,
you could really paste those two together to make one show, you know, and offer
Yeah,
both perspectives.
that's what I was getting at, kind of,
Yeah.
because I'm Foss as far as I can go with it, and then if I can't do the thing I need to do, then I'll turn to the commercial solution, So I'm
I'm
sure
the
most
same.
people, yeah.
I'll put the caveat of if I can't do the same thing easily enough. You know, if it's going to require 6 hours of staring at a screen trying to figure things out, then sorry, I'm out. I'll
well,
just do the.
what about fonts? I know one of the first things I do with an Ubuntu-based font distro is put in Ubuntu restricted extras, which gets me all the Microsoft fonts.
A lot of people do that.
That way, you don't have to go looking for something that's like Arial or like Times New Roman.
Right. I'm quite a fan of the Ubuntu fonts myself.
What is it? Liberation fonts? They get you about as close as I need, really.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So is that what you guys want to do?
that I'm fine with that.
Okay, Joe?
Okay, and then Moss, you're gonna take the hosting.
Yeah, I can do that. I can
Bill,
try to do that.
you're gonna need to do
OBS.
the OBS setup because I might have
Hmm.
to leave early, but I should be on for most of the show.
And I'll bring the cookies.
You bring cookies to my house, please.
For real though, cookies.
I'm not sure how they'll
Oh,
taste by the time they get to Texas from California, Joe, but I'll do my best.
You should
My
drive.
mom used to mail them to Germany.
You should
Make
I could
drive.
sure.
drive.
Yeah, 2 days of driving. You can even cook them in my kitchen, bro.
Like I said, a 5.3 liter V8 and a full size truck is not where you want to
yeah.
be right now in
Well,
terms of long drives.
You could mail a couple of boxes to Kiev.
Yeah, there you go.
Ugh.
For sure. All right. Well, if we're decided, fellas, I'm gonna run because I have to spend some time with my family here. So,
You have a
Okey-dokey.
family.
what's that?
You have a family.
Yeah, he's there
Amazingly.
visiting them.
I did come from somewhere. We're still not sure if this is the right family, but I did come from somewhere.
They haven't kicked you to the curb yet, huh?
No, I'm just the black sheep. Everyone else is, well, like here, my cousin, he's an attorney. His wife's an RN. You know, successful people. I'm bringing it down.
You mean
I
there's
always-
not a lot of Linux using truck drivers out there?
Oh man. Well, you know, there's more of us than I thought there was initially, Bill.
I have 5 drivers using Linux because they
Hey.
all complain about their computer, and I say, "Oh, you
I
have a
can
moment
fix
to talk
that."
about Linux?" Yeah.
Josh, I always called myself the green
You
sheep
bet.
of the family.
The
My
green
family,
sheep.
my family always knew I was good. They just didn't know what I was good for.
Yeah.
Well, at least they knew you were good at something.
I never was good at something. I was just good.
Yeah.
Right on. Well, okay then.
All right, gents. Well, then I will see you next Saturday.
All right. Have a good rest of your weekend, guys.
All right. Appreciate it. You do the same.
Yep. Bye now.
All right. Bye.
See you guys.
See ya.
See you.
You guys out too?
I could be. I've got Zoom meeting I can play music at in a couple of hours.
I gotta eat.
Mm.
Lifting heavy things and eating go well together.
You're supposed to
Joe?
take in a bunch of protein right after lifting.
Joe for Allen ISD. Oh, you've got a lot of big donations there. A lot of zeros.
0. Goose eggs.
Well, I'd donate something, but I'm sure in Texas they'd consider it a foreign donation.
A what?
Foreign donation.
I don't care. Get London to donate. Really make them twitch.
You really.
Why are you getting donations from over there?
I get Tony.
Yeah, or Norbert or Nishant.
Yeah, really.
Even if it's like $1, that'd just be hilarious,
Manchurian Candidate revisited.
right?
I
Why are you getting
haven't
all these
seen that
foreign
in years.
donations? Because those guys are cool. What do you want me to say?
Next thing you know, you're on some list somewhere.
Oh, I'm on lists
Oh,
everywhere.
I am too. I had a lot of security clearances at one time, so
I still have to have background checks for a lot of the stuff that I do.
yeah.
Well, you know me. I'm only slightly to the right of AOC.
Hmm. All right, fellas. Well, you have a good weekend. We'll catch you next weekend.
Okay. Well, if everyone's going to go, I can go too.
All right, I'm going to end the stream. Thanks everybody for listening. We appreciated your time.
See you guys.
See ya.
68 degrees Fahrenheit.